Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Isabella Cheng, and today I am joined with Patrick Morgan from the Magale Library or Centenary. And I'm super excited to talk about the book fest. So here is Patrick.
Very happy to be here.
Awesome. And so we're here to talk about the Magale Library and the fest itself. So can you talk to me about the festival and what is it?
Yeah, Magale Fest is all about celebrating libraries as places where communities come together. We often think about libraries in terms of the resources that they collect, but it's equally important the people that collect in service of those resources. And not just that, I mean, libraries are always community hubs. So the idea of Magale Fest is to celebrate our community that we're a part of within Centenary, but also, I think, importantly, outside of Centenary. So Centenary considers itself Shreveport Bossier's College. And even though Magale Library is not technically a public library, like Shreve Memorial Library, one of our frequent collaborators, we are open to the public. We like to work with the public. We invite the public in. And this is a great opportunity for people who are in the community, who are maybe curious about Centenary, curious about Magale Library, or who just like doing fun stuff at libraries to come and do those things.
Yeah.
So that's really what the idea is. And we partner with lots of community groups, student groups at Centenary, to try and create a fun event that's low key, that's family friendly, that has a lot of different things to offer for people.
That's super exciting. And can you tell me a little bit about, the title Magale Fest? What is that about? Where'd that name come from?
Well, so about 3 years ago, the director of the Center for Teaching and Learning, Dr. Rachel Johnson, and I were kicking around some ideas for what a fun library-oriented, community-facing festival might look like. And we thought something that sounded almost music festival-y, but that incorporated the name Magale might be kind of a nice template for that. So Magale Fest just had a nice ring to it. And it sounds like other great fests, Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it does. And it's very exciting. It's a book fest.
It's
So,
a book fest, among other things. Yeah, so on that note, one of the things that, well, I should say, this is our second year. This is the second annual Magale Fest, which means we did it last year. And one of the elements that we weren't able to include that was actually part of the original vision was the idea of a book swap. And this year we're very happy that we're really able to lean into the idea of a book swap. So we've got lots of books that we've pulled out of our collection, things that we're not going to add because we have multiple copies of them. And some of our collaborators and other people who work at Centenary are bringing some books too. So we've got a good selection of books that people are going to be able to come and just choose from. Idea being, of course, that you take a book if you leave a book. But we're not going to be too strict about that.
yes, book swap. You got to exchange.
Yeah, got to exchange. But I mean, if you don't have a book, we'll probably let you walk away with a book for free. And books of all sorts. We're talking nonfiction, talking fiction, juvenile, young adult, contemporary fiction, classics. So really a gallimofry of options when it comes to books.
I love the sound of that. And so, what can people who attend, what are they, going to see and do?
Well, we've got a great group of collaborators this year, a number of which worked with us last year too, and it's a mix of game-type activities. So, for example, one of our sororities, Zeta Tau Alpha, is going to sponsor some cornhole right in the library. So, if you've ever wanted to play cornhole in the library, now is your chance. So we'll have game-type stuff. Robert Trudeau, Shreveport's own great storyteller, educator, historian, is going to join us and tell some Shreveport-oriented stories.
Okay.
We've got some Hurley School of Music students who are going to be performing vocal and instrumental pieces. Shreve Memorial Library is going to be on site, and they'll have games, library card sign-ups, and other things too. We have the Walter B. Jacobs Wildlife Refuge that's joining us with an owl and maybe some other fun things. And then, of course, all around the library we'll also have our typical library fun stuff. I mean, as a rule, we try to make our library a pretty cool place. We've always got activities and fun things for people to pick up and read. And then, of course, a lot of food trucks. And this year we've got a number of pretty appetizing sounding options that are going to be joining us, including Boba Express selling boba tea, Jackie's Kitchen, Roadrunner Foods, Rage and Cajun will be there too. So a pretty nice assortment. I think that there's going to be a little something for everyone. And this is a family-friendly event, but it's also an all-ages event. So no matter who you are, there's going to be something for you at Magale Fest.
Yeah, and and can you tell me about what was your favorite moment from the past Magale Fest?
Well, I really did enjoy the owl, but it was really gratifying just in general seeing this combination. So many of our academic departments at Centenary are joining us with interactive exhibits. I did not even name them all. There's going to be a lot, and you'll have to come and be surprised. So they'll be joining us, community partners, and then the library itself. And when you add music to that mix, it's this really interesting feel of being at a festival, but at the same time being in one of my favorite kind of spaces, which libraries are. And this individual library, the Magale Library at Centenary, is the greatest library in the world. And I defy anyone to challenge me on that. It's the greatest. And so just being able to be there and surrounded by a community from within Centenary, from the Shreveport Bossier community, some great food. It's one of the best feelings that I've had. Here we are at this great place, and we're all coming together in this way to celebrate things that we all value.
Yeah, and that's really beautiful. And what do you hope comes out of this one?
Well, I really hope that some of our local community members will come, maybe who sometimes don't stop by the campus, who probably go past it frequently and might wonder what goes on there. So I really hope that we'll make some new connections. I hope that we'll have a good turnout, perhaps obviously. I hope to give away a lot of these tote bags.
Yeah, show the people.
We've got a lot of these shopping-sized Magale Fest totes, high-quality canvas. Can't rip that. I'm not gonna try too hard, though.
Yeah, no.
So we're going to give away a lot of these and some bookmarks. And I really hope to meet a lot of new people. I hope that a lot of people will come and experience, maybe for the first time, some time on Centenary's campus. And I hope that our participants are going to feel that it was a great event for them as well.
And there's also student performers, right?
That's right. We'll have some great student musicians from the Hurley School of Music. We'll have a number of student groups. So I mentioned Zeta Tau Alpha, but we've also got other student groups like Centenary Outreach that's going to be doing face painting. I, of course, have a great group of student workers who work with me in the library, and many of them are going to be on hand, mingling and making sure people are finding the things that they want to do. My greatest hope is that anyone who comes to the fest is going to come away from the fest with something of value, whether that's internal or external, or even if that's just you're going to enjoy some good French fries.
I love that. And I want to know a little bit about you, if you don't mind me asking, Patrick. How did you, everyone, or I hope everybody, wants to become a librarian or kind of aspires in that sense? Because even owning a bookstore or even managing a library, to me, that's very exciting. How did you find yourself in that position?
Well, that's an interesting question. And I think I answer that question in different ways depending on my mood. But the core remains the same, which is that I've always been drawn to spend time in libraries. In fact, my first job ever in 5th grade was at the school library. And I continued doing that through high school, through college even. I worked at the library. And the funny thing is that in spite of all that time spent in libraries and wanting usually to be in a library, I never really thought that one could work as a librarian. Right? It really wasn't until I'd finished my undergraduate degree in linguistics and was exploring lots of different options, including ancient Near Eastern studies and a few other paths, that I really finally realized, wait, I'm spending all this time in libraries. Libraries, these are the places that I want to be. Why don't I just try and do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I think it's a good example of sometimes the obvious path is kind of right in front of your face.
Yeah.
It's too obvious for its own good. So it's really that. I've always loved. I mean, I think it's kind of cliche for a librarian to say that they enjoy reading. This is true, but I think more than that, my greatest joy as a librarian is being able to go between people and ideas and, you know, collections of sources for ideas. You know, I love to inhabit that space,
Yeah.
to connect people with the answer to the question that they've really got. And you know, creating a space where people feel comfortable bringing their real questions to you is a big part of what I consider my job to be.
Yeah.
And you know, Magale Fest is just one way of doing that. It's kind of a creative way, it's a fun way, and I like how open-ended it is. You know, librarianship is a great career path, if for no other reason than just in terms of the creativity that you typically can bring to what it is that you think your job is. So yeah, I definitely encourage all of you to become librarians.
Yes, the world needs more librarians, and you know, I'm super excited for this event, and also the fact that there's going to be a live owl is pretty amazing and
Who
quite.
can resist a live owl? The owls are not what they seem.
Always kind of be aware. They're always watching you, right? And off camera, you were telling me about how you were putting together a little shelf. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yes. Well, we're adding a new collection to the library that's focused on our education students. It's what some libraries call a curriculum library, and that's kind of a fancy way of just saying it's a collection of mostly children's books inside of an academic library. And of course, it's not just children's books, it's also books for practitioners, so education theory, classics in the field, that sort of thing. But we're adding this as a brand new section on the first floor, and part of the process, of course, is it's not quite a new set of shelves, but it's a refurbished set of shelves, because I've been spending much of this week spray painting and getting that unit ready to go. And it looks pretty good, if I say so myself.
Yeah, so go check it out. Do you have anything else that you would like to say that I didn't ask?
I think you've asked me some great questions, so I really appreciate the opportunity. I think the last thing I would like to say is, if you're at all on the fence about coming to Magale Fest, come on down from the fence on the side of Magale Fest. You should come. You won't regret it, and it's free. So what could possibly go wrong? And if you've ever considered checking out Centenary's campus, or you've ever been curious what it's like inside an academic library that's on the cutting edge of what it means to be a cool library, which I'm sure all of you have, then you owe it to yourself to come and spend some time with us on Saturday.
All right. Well, I love that. So thank you so much, Patrick, for joining us at the KTAL News Now Digital Center. And I really appreciate your time. And I can tell that you're very passionate about books, about libraries in general, but also this Magale Fest, and you're putting so much time into it. You're painting shelves, and I think it's amazing that Centenary is gathering the community together for a free book fest. So that'll be super exciting. And so that is March 29th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So go check it out if you're free on Saturday. And it was lovely speaking with you.
It was great talking to you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.